Hello, beloveds. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Daniel Weiss Ministries. So I was thinking on today, I made a video about how to discern monitoring spirits, and I mainly gave you guys points on when an individual is operating in a monitoring spirit. But I wanted to share with you guys how animals, how the enemy can use an animal to operate in a monitoring spirit. Your dog, your cat, your bird, even flies, any animal can. The enemy will use an animal to operate within a monitoring spirit. I remember when I first got my dog, I used to be terrified of dogs. Like, I used to be so terrified of dogs. I'm like, I don't fool with dogs at all, period. Right. And so, um, my kid wanted a dog, and, um, she wanted a dog for her birthday, and I'm like, I don't really fool with dogs like that. But I said, it's okay. We'll get you a dog. And boy, what kind of dog I was thinking of was a little poodle, a little shih tzu or something like that. Not nothing, too crazy. So her dad bought her a dog, and she came home with this dog. And it was a small dog, but I could tell that it was going to be a big dog because of the way its mouth was made. And I remember having a dream. Um, about dogs, and in the dream, um, what I discerned from this dream was the dog was a monitoring spirit. So the dog, so what was happening is the dog was placed in my house as to monitor me and to monitor what's going on in my house. And I thought it was so ironic how God gave me that dream, like not even a whole week or so of me having this dog. And so I began to pray against that spirit. I began to pray against it, and it started to manifest. The monitoring spirit did start manifesting itself, because I remember my dog, like just staring at me, like being kind of weird. Anything that I would do, like if someone came to my house that they wasn't familiar with, of course they would start barking, but it was like a different kind of barking, and different kind of territorial like. And so I had already been studying about monitoring spirits, and how the enemy will use flies. Like anytime I see flies in my house, I instantly kill them, because flies, to me, when I see a fly, I think of the enemy. I think of the king of flies. The king of flies is what they is a spirit called Beelzebub, which is the king of flies, which is the enemy. And so anytime I see a fly in my house, I instantly kill it, because I know that that fly is a monitoring spirit. And so we have to be careful with animals, and because the enemy will use anything that is accessible. Anything that is accessible. If you have nobody around you, and it'll use an animal, it'll use anything that is accessible to come and monitor your life, to come and eavesdrop on your life, to come and eye scan your life, and take it back to the source, so that he can know what is going on in your world around you. Because the enemy does not have the gift that God has. God can see all things the enemy can't. So he has to send things out to work on his behalf, to bring things back to him. And so, anyway, I end up, I jumped off a little off course. I do that all the time, where I'll jump all over the place. Just follow me, y'all. I don't stay on course. I just bounce all over the place. So I end up going into prayer against that monitoring spirit that was operating in my dog. And the spirit is gone, but I dealt with it. And so we have to be very vigilant and knowing when and what is operating around us. Like I said, I've only had the dog maybe not even a whole 2 weeks before I had that dream. And usually that's how God speaks to me. He speaks to me in my dreams. And so I dang it. So I so he gave me that dream early on, letting me know that this animal is being sent in your life to monitor you. And before that, it was so funny because I had like flies just everywhere in my house. It was like crazy, and I'm like, why seem like it's so many flies in my house? I killed some, and then here we go with another. And like I said, I always think of Beelzebub every time I hear a fly or see a fly, because that is what the enemy that is what the enemy is, one of his traits or whatever. And so not only do I wanted to tell you guys, not only do the enemy operate in humans as monitoring spirit, but he can also use animals. He can use anything that is accessible, anything that is accessible with eyes, anything that is accessible with ears. He will use it to come and monitor your life, to take it back to him, and just to scan your life and see what's going on. So you want to be very mindful of that. You want to be very careful with that. And I wanted to bring that awareness to you as well. It's just to be mindful, because especially in this time that we're living in, the enemy is on a prowl. He's on a hunt. He's seeking out to destroy God's people. He wants to destroy us so bad. And so he don't have the tools, he don't have the necessities, everything. He don't have what God has to see all things. So he has to use what is accessible to him to get to God's people. So we have to be very vigilant, very careful of who we're allowing around us and what is around us. And if you detect that there's a monitoring spirit or eavesdropping spirit or asking spirit operating around you, just begin to pray against it. Just begin to call it out. Every monitoring spirit, every eavesdropping spirit, every eye scanning spirit, I call you blind, deaf, and dumb in the mighty name of Jesus. And you can no longer monitor, you can no longer scan, you can no longer eavesdrop on my life. And you just say that prayer, and you just keep saying that prayer until that spirit that's operating through, whether it's a person or animal or whatever it is operating, it'll die. It'll die down, and it will no longer be there. And so you want to do that, because what a monitoring spirit does is it comes to delay your life. It comes to hinder what the blessings that God has for you, because it comes to seek out what you're doing so that it can take it back to the enemy. And so the enemy can cause things to be delayed on your life, especially when you're walking upright and in righteousness. He wants to send things to try to make you fall off course, so that you don't receive what God has for you. So you have to stay very vigilant, very vigilant, just paying attention to what's going on around you. And so it is very it's just very imperative, because it brings delay, it brings sabotage, it brings so many things to operate against you, and you don't want that. Right? You want the blessings of the Lord to flow into your life without all the setbacks and delays and all that kind of stuff. And so you want to deal with those things. I hope that this video helped you in some kind of way. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to comment. I love you all with the love of the Lord. I thank you all for taking the time out to even watch my videos and just let's all be family. And I'm just grateful. I'm grateful that God has given me the wisdom that I have, that I can share with you guys. I thank you. I love you all with the love of the Lord.